stress was building.
And then
so
we're like, we don't care.
Okay, we will not title this by sister.
I was like, you cannot do that. I do not want to be
like, I don't eat cookies.
We've had a lot going on in our personal lives, in our business lives, and we thought, we should just sit down and talk.
Yeah, it would be fun to update you guys on the whole Bollie process because there's so much going on right now.
And we thought as like new business owners too, it might be nice to sit down and have someone else be like, oh my gosh, I'm going through it too. Because we've reached out to several of our friends that have started businesses and they're like, this is normal. And we're like, okay, so we're not gonna like lose our marbles and fall, like we're good.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because the people we've reached out to, they're like, we're struggling too. And from the outside, you would never guess that. Yeah. And I wouldn't say we're struggling, but I think that because Bollie is doing wonderful, I couldn't be more happy with the way things are going. But Ellie just read a book and the statistics said
like 95% of new businesses fail in the first year. And if you don't fail, wait till 5 years and you're pretty much gone. Like there's only like 1% left that's like successful.
And it says if you don't, so after the first year, if you do not reach out beyond your own knowledge and get outside help to grow your business, that's when people fail. And we absolutely feel that naturally. We knew that before.
It's been a year.
Before we read it in the book, it was like, okay, we have reached our potential that we can reach on our own. Mm-hmm. And so right now we're in the process of finding a brand manager. We want someone from the outside to look in and say, this is where you need to fix this. This is where you need to cut costs. This is where you need to spend more. Because we just don't know the ins and outs of business like that.
You need to hire someone with more knowledge than you when you've reached your limit. And right now, as moms, as YouTubers, the weight on our shoulders is
super
significant
heavy.
And it's affecting our family life, which has been just a little overwhelming.
Yeah, and our goal is to have Bollie running on its own wheels, whether we are hands-on or not, because that's, if we're not a part of the wheels running and, wait, what am I saying? There was an analogy that was said one time that it's like, it needs to be able to run without you because if you step away, go on vacation, get sick, your business doesn't run. Yeah. That's not an effective business. So what else are we trying to hire for?
I think we just had a phone call this morning. It went amazing. We've had a phone call for an hour with a designer. We've gone through a few different designers. We have absolutely loved our pattern maker. Yeah. And we've gone to New York. We've just loved being there. And today we had our first meeting and
consultation.
We had our first meeting and consultation with our designer, and we felt really good and really comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it is outrageously expensive to do it the way that we've been doing it. I don't regret it, and we're going to continue to do it the way we're doing it. There's a huge difference. There's pros and cons to wholesaling, where you just buy products that are already made and you put it on your website and you sell it. That's amazing.
Which we did, and we quickly realized that we don't like doing that. For one major reason, they do not offer up to a 3XL in most items. That's not okay with us, and I think that's what our customers really love. That's one of the first items we sell out of is our 3X, 2X, extra large, and so we know we don't want to do wholesale. Go on.
But when you are starting it custom made, where you're from the beginning, like you're paying for the patterns and the sketches and the samples that come in on top of then having the product that you have on your site. So
it is much more expensive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So we just are feeling good. We've told each other many times that we are 1,000,000 times happy that we are doing it this way.
Yeah, we are.
We're just in a point now where we need to expand and hire out, and that alone is hard.
Well, and sometimes we can get down on ourselves like, oh, we're not doing as good as we could. We know we started and just like started and threw our work out there. And if we would have waited, I don't
until
think
it was perfect,
we would still be waiting. And so the only way that we've really been able to like learn and grow is just by
trial and error.
Trial and error.
And that's exactly what where is that book? I should have brought it down. That is how a lot of designers are. This book talked about like Tommy Hilfiger and Ralph Lauren and all these other designers, and how they were everyone is in the same boat at some point. And there's trial and error with every business and every work, and yeah, we're experiencing that, and it's fun and challenging and scary and heavy at the same time.
We're looking to hire someone to run our Instagram account. We want someone, ideally, what I think would be so perfect is to hire a photographer to run our Instagram account, take the pictures for it, tell us what we need. I want them to say, this is the pictures that we need to get at each photo shoot. Because right now we're just
we have a list, and we're like,
most of the time we forget things that we need to do, or we just don't think about it. And so we would really love a photographer to say, I'm running your Instagram. These are the photos that I need, so we need to get these photos. They edit them. They
post them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was almost hesitant to say that because it feels like a little less...
It's weird.
Personal, but it kind of has to be that way if we're going to run our lives.
I was going to say, it sounds weird for us to say that because I would never let someone go on to my Ellie Meekum personal viewer experience. I would never let someone do that. So I think for you, it's weird to be like, oh, I feel like I shouldn't tell people. Most businesses have that.
They do.
Most businesses, at some point when they grow, they have someone doing that. That's okay to do. And that is one of our goals. It's really hard to keep up with.
And it's hard to let go. We love that personal touch to it, but if we're going to grow, we have to. So, if you want to get to us on a personal level, come to our personal Instagrams.
Right?
It feels better to sit down and talk it out because I really do feel like we're doing better than we
give ourselves credit
for, but we also have really high hopes for ourselves. So we haven't reached our limit. We haven't capped. This isn't just a glorified YouTuber merch line. This is like a
we want it to be our business.
Yeah. So it's been fun. We're a little stressed in life, but so is everybody. And this is the advice that I would give myself, to Ellie. Make a list. Whether those items are huge or small, make your list of what needs to get done. And every day you just work towards crossing something off. And that's exactly that's exactly what we've done. So whether these are heavy items, simple items, make your list and work towards it. That's all you can do. And because the days are going to go by whether you get crap done or not. The days are going to go by whether you allow yourself to be happy or not. So what are you going to do in that day? You know, make the day count. And we work our guts out, and I love that we can do it together.
Yes, me too. Last night, Bonnie came over when a lot of times we work when the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
So we have really late nights, really early mornings. And last night, I'm nervous, can you tell?
Yeah.
I was on vacation for a week. I'm gonna breathe. I was on vacation for a week and I didn't do this once. I didn't do this. Like, I do this a lot. You probably can't even hear it, but it's a stress-induced thing. It's the weirdest thing. I haven't done it once. Really? And then when I sat down on our phone call this morning, I noticed I was doing it. I'm like, what the hell? It's the weirdest thing. So, like, last night, Bonnie came over late last night, and I'm not crying because I'm, like, overwhelmed. We're all overwhelmed. We're not sitting here throwing a pity party. We just thought it would be fun. We thought it would be fun to sit down and show what's, like, going on because we have a really good relationship with you guys. Last night, Jared was like, we have boxes at the warehouse of our acrylic cases of our new robes that came in. We have our new blush robes that came in and everything.
With the mini robes. Oh,
so excited. And he's like, we don't have time in the next few days to go down to count the inventory to make sure everything's good. So, like, we're like waiting. Days are getting weighted until we can go and do that. And so for us, we're like overwhelmed, but we have to remind ourselves that, like you said, you make our list. Today's was videos, and we love that, and we're just going to be happy with that list. until we can get to the warehouse, because we're running a few businesses. And
I think it's important to remind ourselves that if something doesn't get done, the world doesn't end.
No one cares.
If we get our line out 2 weeks after we wanted to, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, life is going to go on, and I think that applies to people just in general. You can apply that to anything in your life. Life is going to go on. Deadlines are important, but life's going to move on.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to survive. You're going to be okay.
I think it's really important to reach out to people, whatever phase of life you're in. If you're a mom, a business owner, single going to college. Today, our phone call with the designer was amazing, because we have our spring 2020 line that just came out. And we have our we have our spring 2019 line that just came out, and we have our winter 2019 already designed and in the process of making. And talking to the designer today, she's like, "Oh, you need to start the winter 2020 now." And we were like, "What? We've been working so hard." we thought we were on track. Dang it. She's like, "No." So we're like, instead of going through emails, SOS! Maybe! We're going to book a flight and go,
we are next week.
We're going to get this figured out.
We're going to New York, and we're going to really get ourselves on track. And it sounds
SOS! It is so fun. This is how Bonnie and I cope with shiz. We laugh. We were on the phone with the designer and our pattern maker, these nice professional women, and we're talking, and she
name dropped of who this factory does work for, and we both were like, we looked at each other and we go,
"Who the is that?" like lip saying it, but not so she could hear, and then we both started laughing.
We had to turn our heads away from the phone, and we were like shaking laughing, and she was like, "Does that sound okay?" And we were like,
We've met this lady several times, so I think she knows our personality, that we're just
it's fine. But it was just like stress was building, and
then
so
we're like, we don't care. So
anyway,
sometimes you just have to laugh at ourselves to get us by for the next meeting and the next conversation.
Yeah.
I'm proud of doing something that was really hard to do.
Yeah.
And still is, and everyone's learning. So
we appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate your support, whether you buy our clothing or not. We appreciate your love and support and the kind words that you send to us. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out our clothing line, we will leave the link for it, bolliebrand.com, in the description below, along with a link to the book that Ellie's talking about.
Yes, I think for any business, this is a really good book to read. So
it is more specific to designing,
clothing,
right?
And designing,
okay.
Yes. But just, it gives good tips, just to be structured and to be prepared. So
yeah, it's a good one.
I read it while I was on vacation.
And she screenshotted everything and sent it to me.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in our next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.